Welcome to episode 2 of the Hatchback Homies podcast. Obviously, I'm Sean. This is James. Sorry I introduced you for you.
Oh, you're good. And this is Stage2 Threads.
This is Stage2 Threads.
If you haven't seen our first YouTube video, that is how we started. We took like 3 different tries to say this is Stage2 Threads at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
I think we did pretty good, though.
The last time.
Check it out.
The last time, yeah. So, obviously, the first video on the YouTube channel. There's only a couple of them right now. There will be more. Stay tuned for that. Today, though, we'll talk about a topic we know pretty well.
The big question.
Is it a big question?
What is Stage2 Threads? And it's the biggest question we can ask ourselves.
Yeah.
Who are we?
It only took us 3 years to figure it out. Yeah. That's a separate problem, James. We can't fix it on this podcast.
But we can try.
Yeah, so today we're going to go over Stage2 Threads, what it is, how it started, a little bit of history on it.
Yeah.
Just because nobody knows who we are, obviously, which is fine.
And
so,
yeah, someday when we look back and hopefully it'll be like, you've made it. And you guys out there watching this will maybe this isn't the second podcast you've watched from Stage2 Threads.
Right. It might be.
Hopefully we have hundreds out then, and maybe you've found your way back to this gen.
Yeah.
Where we're in a basement making a podcast as 2 guys.
But it has cool decorations, so it makes it better.
It does. It has a lot of cool stuff. And these all have stories and history behind it, which is even cooler.
Actually, I just realized that they're all signed. You can thank my wife for that. She hung all these up right here. So.
But.
Anyways.
Yes, start at the beginning.
Yeah, like what? 3 years ago when we worked at Edge? No.
Well.
Was it after I left Edge?
No, we were still working there when we started.
Were we?
Yeah.
You were in that house.
Sure. Yeah. No, I think had I moved to the house? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, because we sat on the couch for 3 weeks trying to figure out the name.
2019.
Dang.
Yeah.
5 years ago?
Yeah, that's
shit. I thought it was only 3.
That's when we didn't start the company yet, but we started meeting together to try to discuss what we wanted it to be, what name we wanted it to be. But it all started with you and me. We started going to the gym together.
Yeah. We played one-on-one basketball in the mornings. Sean's terrible. James is quite good.
Yeah.
We played to 11. I think I scored 3 points most games.
Yeah, it was very one-sided, but
I ran a lot. James didn't.
You said you went there for the exercise,
I did.
And I went there to play basketball, and so it worked out.
It worked out good, except for Fridays we went to breakfast.
Fridays we went to breakfast.
Super early.
But Thursdays we played basketball at night with the group.
Yeah.
And so we wouldn't get home till 1 in the morning, and then
because we'd go hang out at Maverick.
Yeah, and then we'd go.
Gas station.
Oh yeah, because a lot of times we'd finish basketball at midnight, and then we'd go talk at Maverick till 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
About everything and anything, and then get up at 4.
4?
Well, we meet at 5. I lived all the way out in Brigham City at the time, so it took me a half hour to even get into town. So at least I got up then. You probably got up 5 minutes before we got there.
I only have 7 minutes from work.
And so we go to Jeremiah's and eat breakfast on Fridays.
Yes.
But we did that for like a year.
Yeah, until you had your daughter.
Yep.
And then he had to be a dad.
Yeah.
Not had to. He got to be a dad.
Yeah. And so then after my daughter was born, that's when I bought a house and moved closer. And we started planning all this.
Yeah, I don't know how it started. We just decided, I think it was just, we just wanted to make extra money or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'd go to the gym and then we'd have like a half hour before work.
Yes.
And so we'd go and just talk about stuff. And like, I didn't know how it came up. I'm guessing I brought it up because I have always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Yeah. And I wanted to have my own company.
And I had been looking into like e-commerce and like clothing a lot. Yeah.
And so we kind of just fit like a sandwich. Peanut butter and jelly.
You did this and did sandwich
waffles
instead of gloves?
I don't even know if like a sandwich is the same.
I'm sorry. This man. It's out of control.
Sorry, if you watched our first episode, we talked about Smuckers and Uncrustables.
No, Uncrustables.
And
anyways,
I got a sandwich on the mind.
Severe squirrel syndrome in here.
Yeah. But
anyways.
Yeah, and so we started with the idea of doing merch by Amazon.
Yes, and they didn't let us in. We tried 3 times, and they denied us every time.
Yep. But it probably took us like 6 months to come up with the name before we even started anything.
Yeah, we decided that we had to have a name before we did anything because we wanted to form an LLC.
Yeah, we wanted to do it all
ourselves
as a company.
We wanted to be our own company, our own thing. Yeah. And we wanted to register things as said company. You know,
that fun, boring stuff.
Protect ourselves for copyrights because we're making we're trying to make clothing, t-shirts.
Yeah.
We want to make t-shirts.
Mostly.
T-shirts.
Yeah, we still do all the time.
We do.
Hoodies, t-shirts.
But that's how we
hats we've done once.
started. I just remember sitting on the couch for hours, and we just looked up random car terms. Like we did, wasn't one of them like clutch pedal?
Yeah.
Like
clutch pedal clothing.
Yeah.
Because we were like set on having like some sort of
clothing in the name
term.
Didn't keep it, obviously.
We had Cars and Coffee clothing.
That was not a bad one.
It's not a bad one, but it's just
patented, right? Or something.
Cars and Coffee is already so known. We wanted, and neither of us drink coffee.
That is true.
And
I do like caffeine, but not from.
It didn't go with
coffee.
Us. I don't remember how we came up with Stage2 Threads.
I think it started as we needed a car term.
Yes.
And Stage 2 is a pretty recognizable car term.
Yeah.
If you have a Stage 2, I think at the time my GTI was considered Stage 2 because I hadn't put the bigger turbo on it yet.
My Honda was not.
You're not, dude. We'll talk about your Honda in a completely different episode.
Yeah. We'll have an episode about our cars that we've owned and just.
Yes.
But we'll leave that for another day. That's a fun one.
It was a cool car. But
I loved it.
I think my GTI was technically considered Stage 2 because it was just like intake exhaust, Stage 2 tune.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And so we were like, I mean, a lot of people don't build cars in stages. Some people don't like that, whatever. But Stage 2 is pretty recognizable. Yeah. So we went with that. And then we wanted a clothing aspect. So we picked Threads.
I think we were originally like Stage 2 clothing, but it just didn't roll off the tongue.
Didn't like it.
But Stage 2 Threads, I still love it to this day.
Yeah, that's why we've kept it. We had never changed it. I just remember sitting on your couch for 3 weeks. I remember like changing positions, like my feet were on the backrest and we were just like looking up terms for hours. Forever. And then I'd go home like super late.
This was before the days of AI, which would have probably saved us so much time.
ChatGPT would have saved us so
it would have been like, this is what you want. But instead we sat there and had to use our own brains.
Yeah. Like one brain between the two of us.
Yeah. But like you said, like we wanted to do merch by Amazon and it was right during COVID.
Yeah.
And
it was during COVID.
Yeah, and they I'm sure everybody was trying to find some site. Yeah. Just
like hard though, because we tried to register like 3 months later and we had the same phone number and they wouldn't let us use it.
Yeah.
Like we already denied you basically. You can't try again. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think we got rejected 3 times.
Yeah, because we tried Stage2 Threads, we tried me, and we tried you.
Yeah.
No, it was Stage2 Threads every time, but we used our different phone numbers. That's what it was.
And then, so from there, we had to make like our first pivot as a company, which becomes like a trend.
Yeah, spoiler, we pivoted a lot.
Yeah, and we never gave up.
We did not quit. We still haven't.
But we pivoted.
A lot.
And so this was like the very first pivot where we're like, we can't do merch by Amazon. We'd already started designing clothes. We already had an LLC.
Had some cool designs.
Like for us, it was too late to just say, oh, well, turn around and quit. So we started finding all these other options.
Yeah, and the first we did was Printful, right?
Printful.
Print on demand, Printful.
Paired up with Amazon, with just the actual Amazon
so we could sell it on Amazon. That's right.
And we made
all kinds of shirts then.
Yeah, we were not car themed. Well, we were. We had some. Then we ran out of ideas. Yeah, we wanted to be automotive themed. But automotive clothing, unless you have like a branding behind it or like you're a famous YouTuber or you're giving away a car, I feel like automotive clothing is pretty hard to, at least from my opinion, it's pretty hard to sell without that. It's already pretty saturated, and so
that's what I'm looking for, saturated.
And neither of us at the time were heavily experienced in design.
Yeah, we were not. I just remember the fruit salad shirts, whatever you were making. We made all kinds of
crazy shirts.
Weird shirts.
I'll have to find some of the old
designs. We'll throw them up.
Throw them up here.
It was fun.
That had nothing to do with cars.
No. My nephew still has that Burrito Man shirt.
The Burrito Man? Yeah. I totally forgot about Burrito Man. That is hilarious. Our best-selling shirt was this sour lemon head.
The lemon head, dude.
And for me, like, that was the moment I realized it's like, this is not what I want to do, is sell lemon head shirts on Amazon.
Yeah, I think that was...
For a small...
Yeah.
We would barely be, like, affording to pay for Canva at the time, which is $10 a month.
Yeah. I think our first pivot was changing how we were selling shirts, like to Printful.
Yeah.
I think the second pivot for us, the big one that really got us to where we are now, is the fact that we were like, I don't want to just make money selling shirts.
Yeah.
I want to make clothing and designs and shirts and do something I enjoy doing.
Yeah, but we wanted that to support what the real purpose of the company was.
Yeah, it wasn't the end goal.
It wasn't.
Clothing's not the end
goal.
You
didn't come to us just to buy a shirt because we made cool shirts.
Yeah.
It is we were giving something to the automotive world, and in return, you would buy merch from us.
Yeah, we wanted to really help promote automotive culture and what it is to, be in love with cars or trucks or whatever it is.
And so we switched like different t-shirt companies. Now we use Teespring right now.
Eventually we want to do our own, but see how it goes.
Our first big pivot from that point then was building our website.
Is that what was next?
I mean, it was our first version of our website.
Oh, you're right.
It's not what we do now. It's not what we have now.
Yeah.
Long story short with that is we pretty much completely designed a website where people could upload their car builds and list out their build, modifications, so that other people could come and just search by vehicle and find cars they wanted to look at. Maybe they just bought one or looking to build one, looking to buy one. Yeah. They wanted to see what options were available, what people were doing. And
you buy a Honda or Volkswagen GTI, or that's what we own or have owned.
Yeah, and so Honda Civic
or Ford Ranger, whatever it is. You could go there, just pop it in and see what other people have done.
Yeah, and we had built it out, and we just did our first round of beta testing, and everything went through pretty smoothly. We're probably about a month away from
launching 30 days from launching it.
And Alex Martini launched the exact same thing.
He did.
And he obviously had already been with Fitment Industries, and it was known in the car culture world a lot bigger than we were. Yeah. And we didn't want to try to compete with what he was bringing, because I already felt like we were going to compete with Fitment Industries a little bit.
With their wheel.
Yeah. I feel like their
wheel gallery
made specifically more for wheels, but it always had what other modifications were done there. And ours just wanted to be more general, but we didn't want to sell car parts. Yeah. We don't want to have someone come look and see what builds were and then buy those same parts from us. It was just the Reddit of cars. Yeah. Like, that's what we wanted it to be.
Yeah, and when he launched his too, at least the first little bit when I was watching it took off pretty well. He had like a couple hundred builds in there.
Yeah, and we had...
So it was pretty cool for him.
Probably like 10 or 15 beta testers.
Our family. My brother uploaded his lawnmower. So.
Yeah, like, we just...
That was a hard day.
Yeah,
that was a pretty bummer. That was a bummer day. I was bummed.
I look back and it's probably for the best, because I love what we do now.
Yeah, that was another big pivot. I feel like so much happened, but I think it was just doing t-shirts and stuff.
Biggest pivot for me.
Yeah. So
at the time when we first started doing this back in 2019, I was starting to get into car photography as an individual myself. Yeah. I didn't have a camera. I didn't even have a good phone.
Yeah, you had that Razor phone.
I had the Razor.
Or do you have the iPhone?
The Razor gaming phone is what I had when we started. And I was taking pictures of your GTI. I was taking pictures of
I'm sure we have some we can throw up. You edited your Honda with the flames in that one picture.
All the smoke going by. I was using an app at the time that would replace the skies to make them look cool. Yeah. But you're supposed to pay for the app. It had like a free version where you could like try a couple of them, and then you could try on the other ones, but it wouldn't let you download them. So I would put it on there, and screenshot it and crop out the rest.
Didn't know that.
So like, I'm sorry. I look back at it and not my proudest moment, but I thought it made for cool pictures. I was just trying to get by. I wasn't selling the pictures. They were just for myself.
And, well, me.
And him.
I have some.
And I wasn't charging my best buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. We went up to that place up
by the mountain.
Willard.
Yeah.
Where we go hike, and then we just like take pictures in the middle of that dead-end road.
Yeah.
So.
And I loved it. Like, I got hooked instantly. And just kept doing it for mostly just you and me and our cars. Mm-hmm. And just...
So when you sold your house around then too, and then...
Yeah, I sold my house, moved out and started living with my parents.
For a little bit, yeah.
And took a little bit of the money I made from selling the house and bought my first camera.
Yeah, the one we're using right now.
Yeah, we're filming it on that camera. It's a Sony A7 III. Love it.
Takes good pictures.
One of the best decisions I've ever made for myself. Mm-hmm. It brings me so much joy to do photography.
Yeah, and he's a wizard with it. We've done several photo shoots. Again, like last time I shot our Instagram, on our Instagram, we have several of the photo shoots we've done.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in looking at some pictures my man over here has taken, they're all there. He's a wizard with the camera. He's very good at editing them as well. Also on our website, we have something called Photo of the Week, which we need to get back onto doing. I kind of forgot about it with all the SEMA stuff, but we upload photos that we like or that we've taken. And so if you go to stage2threads.com and go to Photo of the Week, there's some pictures there that James has taken. He also has a profile there as well, which this is a good segue into what we do now, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can take a look at some of the pictures he takes. But yeah, that was kind of our next pivot. He got the camera, and we kind of left everything in limbo for like a month. We didn't really know what we wanted to do,
and we just started hanging out with talking cars, taking pictures.
For a minute there, we were just going to start doing photo shoots.
Yeah.
And just build like an Instagram, I think.
Yeah, and so we started, my very first photo shoot with the camera was with your white GTI. I'm sure we can post some pictures I took of that.
Oh, yeah.
And I was a noob. Like, I didn't know anything. I had watched hours and hours of YouTube videos, but I was to that point where I felt like I knew stuff, but I didn't trust myself. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, well, put it in auto and click the button.
Yeah.
I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
And
I still turned out good.
Good, yeah.
I mean, I have one on my wall right now, a picture. It's on the other wall.
The camera was good enough that I could do that and have good photos.
Yeah.
But then I took a couple photo shoots like that, and then we brought in Issei to take pictures of his Supra.
That was a moment for me.
And that was a fun photo shoot.
It was. We didn't even know Issei. Yeah. That was the first time we met him.
Yeah, and that was my first time where I put my camera in manual mode and really just said, like, I've done the research, I've practiced with stuff, I know how all the little aspects work, and I just need to trust myself and just go for it. And I was shaking in my boots the whole time. I would take a picture and I'd like hurry and look at it to see if it was good or not.
I just talked to Issei about cars the whole time. It actually worked out really well for me. But...
And it turned out great. There was like a handful of photos in there, like when I was editing them. And I wasn't even using a good editing software yet. I shouldn't say good. I wasn't using one of the well-known ones yet.
Yeah. It's free.
I use Lightroom now, like 99% of the world. But I was using Raw Therapy at the time.
Yeah.
And it worked good though for the little knowledge I had in color editing and all of that. And I look back at those pictures and I just go like, wow. And yeah, like
they were cool. I remember, I think for me the biggest thing was after James edited all the pictures and saved them and stuff, I went and downloaded a couple of them, and my wife works with Issei, and so I sent them to her to show him. And I remember she showed him and everybody else she worked with. Oh, yeah. I remember she came on that day saying, like, everybody was like in awe of these pictures. Like, they thought they were so cool. And that was, I want to say that the Issei photo shoot is probably what lit that fire again.
Yeah,
of like, okay, we have something here we can do something with.
Yep.
And we had the bones of the website. And so that
had all the sorting functions, all the plugins to do all that stuff.
Yeah. And I knew how to use it all because I built it all.
Yeah.
And so it was, well, what if we just built a platform for automotive photographers to come just make a bio on, basically. Yeah. You could sort by city and state.
Just to be specific to that niche.
Yeah, it was just kind of we love cars. We love taking pictures of cars. We love getting to know the people behind the cars and the builds.
Yeah, the stories.
And and why they have that car, why they made that car.
The stories.
Yeah, it was, and so it just was kind of I want to do this, basically is what it was. And so we spent how much? It still took some time for the website, like another
it took
4 months, 5 months, 6 months.
Yeah, probably at least 6 months.
It took me a while to get it all working how we wanted.
I think that happened in March, and then it was around November, December when we had it ready because we launched it right before Christmas.
You're right. And it's still small.
Yeah.
Like we only have about 30-ish photographers on there. We're having a hard time getting the word out. Hence the reason we're kind of doing this here, plugging ourselves. Yeah. But yeah, so that website right now, it consists of like a photographer. I don't know if you want to call it a gallery, but you go there and it just has a bunch of bios of photographers. And we made a whole YouTube video on it that shows you how to use it.
The biggest part we wanted is the ability, because if you go and look on Instagram and so many cool car pictures on there and you're like, oh sweet, I really love this photographer style, and you go and look and they're all the way across the country. And you're like, oh well, that's cool.
Yeah.
He's a cool photographer, but I'll never meet this guy in my life, most likely.
Yeah, it was a place that you could go and be like, I live in Georgia.
I live in...
Are there any photographers near me, around me?
Yeah.
And then you could go and you could pull up, the 4 or 5 that are on the site in Georgia, or however many there are. I don't know how many there are. And then you could go, there's one right now, maybe.
There's probably one in Florida.
And then you could go to their bio and see if you like their style, because every photographer has a different style.
Yeah.
So,
different style, different level of skills, different pricing.
Yeah.
So you can find a couple of them and hit them up and see which ones work for you. Maybe some do rollers really well, and that's more what they specialize in, while others do more just standstill photography. Some do video as well. All big old mix of
things.
Creative people on our site that are all really talented, though.
Yeah. And that's kind of where we ended up at first. And then the last year, we've just been really trying to grow our company, as we just trying to grow Stage2 Threads, the name, the brand, the people behind it. We've talked about Issei a lot. He'll be in future podcasts. He's getting ready to go on a trip. Yeah. And so he couldn't come tonight to help us film any of this.
A lot of future podcasts, like he said, as well.
And videos. He's in the videos.
He'll be in a lot of our YouTube videos.
Yeah. So we put a lot into building Stage2 Threads, and we mentioned at the start how we came up with the name. And now the name means a lot more to us. We never got rid of it. We still like the flow of it. We talked about changing it several times, actually.
Yeah.
We just decided to keep it, and now it means more of we're just here to just stage up in photography, cars, life, we just want to make it something. So it's been kind of crazy. I can't believe it's been 5 years.
It's been a journey.
That's crazy to me that we started in 19.
Yeah.
In that spare bedroom. With the one table. We shared a table.
Yeah. It was a desk that I made in high school.
It was very sturdy, surprisingly.
Big,
It was very tall, too. But that one table and that super comfy couch that was against the wall.
We still have it.
Yeah. We couldn't sit and I'd fall asleep. It's so comfortable.
Too big to fit in this room. So it's a massive couch.
It is a massive couch. But yeah, that's how we started, and we just pivoted a lot. We went from a lot of things.
Yeah, but we've stuck with this for a good year now. This
is what we've landed on. This is what we want to do. We want to be in.
We've set our foundation in this.
The automotive and the photography world, and preferably both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
So, if you watch our first podcast, we talked about going to SEMA. James got some really cool photos of a bunch of stuff there. Again, that's on our Instagram. We have a YouTube video of a burnout competition out.
Yeah.
Just some stunning stuff. Obviously stunning stuff. It seems great. But we just really want to be in a world, and it's just kind of where we're sticking.
Yeah.
We found something we enjoy doing, which is where we started. We wanted to do something that hopefully we could do full time, but also something that we enjoyed. I mean, we enjoy hanging out with each other, but
yeah,
it's got to be more.
But we have full-time jobs right now that we do.
We do.
And this doesn't get the attention it deserves because of that, and we want that to change. Mm-hmm. We don't want Stage2 Threads to be like this side project that's hidden in a closet.
Which is what it's been.
And I want it to grow. I want it to shine. I want it to do all those things. I know that just means doing the work.
Yeah.
Doing the podcast, doing the YouTube, our Instagram, our merchandise, going to shows and everything.
Yeah.
It's being involved in the car community. That's what we want to do anyways.
Yeah, we do.
So now it's just making the time to do it all.
Yeah, 100%. So with that being said, we got a couple minutes left. So let's talk about what we want to do for the future on this. So coming very soon in the future, we have... Obviously, there will be more podcasts.
Yep.
As we mentioned in the first podcast, we did meet a super cool company called Diamond ProTech.
Yeah.
That has sent us some stuff to try out. So we'll make some videos on that and how that stuff works. They also were kind enough to send us a discount code, so you can get 10% off if you use that. So that was actually really cool from SEMA.
Super cool of them as well.
Super cool.
They were cool guys, cool product. Mm-hmm. Super excited to really test it out and see if it's as awesome as they say it is. Because we haven't tested it. I watched tons of YouTube videos on it now. Yeah. And it seems like it works great, but
I think it's so cool.
I'm so excited to see it in person.
We're also got some builds we're going to be doing. Yeah. So obviously it'll take a little bit to get funding.
Yeah, funding
from ourselves. But maybe we'll do another.
Yeah, we'll have a YouTube video where we'll introduce the cars that we have. Yeah. We have them, at least. So that's a start.
Yeah, we do have them.
And they're the cars we plan on building in some way or another.
Yeah. The goal behind our builds is we're going to take cars that are maybe not the greatest in photos, either because they're old or rusty or the paint's bad or whatever.
They're cheap.
Everybody likes a cheap, fun car, right? And we're going to take those cars and go through the steps to make them photo shoot ready, basically. Yeah. And we're not going to be building show cars. I don't want anybody
No, but
just I have this
cars that could
old whatever, and we're going to do stuff step by step, and then we'll do photo shoots along the way and show the progress and the changes. And then in the end, it's how do you take something and get it to the point where you even want pictures of it. Yeah. So.
Because right now, neither of them
definitely not, especially mine.
Jaw droppers, catch your attention, especially yours, especially mine.
Well, mine's just in a little bit of rough shape. Yours is what it is. And more on that when they come out. You guys will see. You'll understand. Yours just its existence.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Thank you again for watching our second podcast. Yeah. And if you still like this type of content, you guys know what to do. I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, it's just pretty. I mean, everybody. Or don't. But if you like it, then do it.
Yeah, we're going to keep making it probably the same way. So
stay tuned for the next one. I don't know exactly what that one's going to be about right now off the top of my head. So
I don't either.
Could be about anything. In the car, and
be a car or photography related. Yep. So
possibly sandwiched together.
There will be maybe even some special guests along the way. So yeah. Not in the next one, but in future ones. Yeah. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate any views, likes, comments. Just appreciate you guys just taking the time. So
we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah. Okay.